Hey guys, I kind of wanted to take a step back and do a little bit of explanation on diabetes itself because I haven't really done that on the vlog. I've talked about it a little bit in my blog, but I wanted to make a video just because I think there's a lot of people that don't actually understand what it means to be diabetic. And I didn't either. Honestly and truly, I've learned a lot from the experience that I've went through, and I've learned a lot from like my nurses and doctors and my healthcare professionals have been really great. The key to that, I think, guys, is no matter what you're going through, health wise or otherwise, I think that it's very wise to ask questions when you don't understand something. And truly, 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 I'm not just saying this, they do not find that annoying or stupid. You have to take initiative in your own care, and knowing more about what's going on is going to help you do that. So, a few things that I want us to run over, guys. So, diabetes has two different types of diabetes, and I'm going to explain that to you here. I'm going to tell you the difference. So, type 1 diabetics, the pancreas, which is the organ in our body that produces insulin. Type 1, ours doesn't work whatsoever. It's just kind of hanging out, gets a free ride, doesn't do anything other than take up space. So it's just chilling. Now, guys, your body has to make insulin to deal with the sugars that we eat. And no, I'm not talking about sitting down and gorging on like a 50-pound bag of gummy bears or something like that. Almost every single thing that you put in your mouth other than water has sugar in it. Fruits are a really good example. Bananas and strawberries, watermelon, and any kind of fruit has a natural sugar in it, which is good. I mean, fruit is good for you. I'm not telling you not to eat fruit by any means, but it's just like anything else, all in moderation. We need to make sure that we're not overdoing it on fruit or gummy bears, or apparently I have an audience. So, Zinger, it's enough. Sorry. This is the everyday life of my house, guys. So, like I was saying, everything has sugar in it. Carbs are the biggest thing that you don't really realize that there's sugar in that. But what happens is carbohydrates break down in our bodies and they become sugar. And so when that happens and you have nothing in your body to kind of counterbalance those out, then you're left with high blood sugar, which does things like kill nerves and give you neuropathy, which some of you may have heard of. Neuropathy is a big part of what has played into my story. And what that means is normal people can feel the bottoms of their feet, and if you step on a Lego, you're going to be like, oh my god, that hurts, that's awful. If I step on a Lego, like a couple hours later, I'm going to be like, what in the hell is stuck in my foot? That hurts. And it's going to be a Lego I stepped on 2 hours ago, because my nerves don't respond when they should in my feet. And a lot of diabetics have that problem. Feet are pretty much the first thing to experience that, and I'm not sure why, but hands and arms and legs, they all do that as well. So type 1 has to have insulin. They are insulin dependent, and insulin is a medication that is injected, whether it be like this, which is a pin. What happens is I take the cap off here, I screw a little needle onto the top of that there, and I dial this, get it to focus. I dial that to whatever units amount of insulin that I need. I clean the site with alcohol and jab that needle in, press the bottom of that pin there to press in, and I get my insulin. Now, these are like I said, they're called pins, and I'll show you guys the needle. Actually, I have one. And this are what the needles look like. So you peel off this little paper here, and this little tip screws on. That purple in there is to protect the needle. When that comes off, there's a needle in there. So that's how the pins work. Now, of course, there are some people that still use the needles with a syringe to inject, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, then that's great. I find the pen is a lot easier for me, and a lot less hassle. I don't have to carry around all these syringes. I literally put one of these in my pocket and a couple of those needle ends, and I'm good to go. And it's just easier for me. But like I said, it's just preference. So type 1 is most often hereditary. I mean, of course, it can happen in anyone. It doesn't have to be genetics. It just happens. That's as far as I've gone on research with that, because all of my life since I was 13 years old, and now generally type 1 you are diagnosed very young as a child, but I was diagnosed when I was 13. When I was 4, I started putting on a lot of weight. I had no change in diet, no change in exercise, no change in activity. Nothing outside had changed, but inside something had went amiss apparently, and I just started gaining weight. So my mom took me to a lot of doctors, a lot of specialists, a lot of different universities, and finally by age 13 I was diagnosed as diabetic. I was originally diagnosed as type 2, and what type 2 means is your pancreas works, but it doesn't work well enough. This is the type that most people associate with people who are overweight and deem them as being unhealthy. This is absolutely not true. What this basically means is that your pancreas just doesn't produce enough insulin to metabolize the sugars that are in your body. Now, can somebody who is, ideal body weight for their age, height, and all that, and who eats nothing but greens all day, every day, have type 2 diabetes? Absolutely. It is unlikely, because when you change the diet and you make these changes to that, usually you are able to control. That's the key word, control. Diabetes is still not a curable disease. Once you are diagnosed with diabetes, you will die with diabetes. I'm sorry to make that sound so harsh, guys, but I want you to understand that before you go making fun of people for choices that they've made in their past, to understand that their diagnosis is permanent. Now, type 2, like I said, pancreas works, it just doesn't work enough. And originally, that's what I thought I had. Now, the the greatness, we'll just go with that, of type 2 is that some type 2 can be controlled with pills, and you not have to inject with insulin. And so from the time I was 16, you guys get a 3-year gap there of nothing was done. 16 until a couple months ago, I was taking pills to try to control my diabetes. I only recently discovered that pills do not work because my pancreas does not work. So, when I was in WVU, the doctor said that it's something that he called type 1.5, which is what he thought that I could classify in, because he thinks that my body can respond somewhat to pills, but not enough to control it. So I am insulin dependent. So, that being said, that's just the difference between the two. Now, being diabetic, of course, I want you guys to know how crucial it is, if you are diabetic, to check your blood sugar. I'm not the best diabetic out there. I eat things I'm not supposed to eat. I do things I'm not supposed to do. I don't always clean my sites with alcohol before sticking myself. Sometimes I want some gummy worms. It happens. But as long as you don't do that thing every single day of your life, and as long as you know that what you have done is not the way you want to live by, and moving forward, you know that, hey, yesterday I ate a bunch of crap I wasn't supposed to, so today I'm going to be really good and I'm going to eat like I really am supposed to. I'm going to be very strict. Or like, hey, I had that extra piece of bread with dinner, so before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to drink an extra glass of water. It doesn't really balance it out. I'm not going to say that you can eat all the bread you want as long as you drink gallons and gallons of water, because that's not how it works. But I am going to tell you that for me, life I've not been able to give up all of those little things that I like. Bread, gummies. Here's a really good example. I enjoy my caffeine. I have to have caffeine. And in order to do that, you find ways to cope. So for me, it's zero sugar Coke. And, sugar-free gummies. Just whatever. Whatever you can do to cope. But anyway, guys, I really just wanted to give some information on the difference of the two, and just get some stuff out there and let you guys know that I have started a Facebook page. So make sure you like, share, comment, send me a message if you have any questions. I am all ears if you need to talk or you have questions, and if I can answer them, that's great. If you feel more comfortable talking to me than you do your doctor or whatever, I'm by no means a medical professional, but I can tell you what I've been through and my experiences. So thank you guys for your time. I love you all. Prayers for everybody affected by these crazy tropical storms. And don't forget to like and share. Love you guys.